from last week? Anything? So I have a different joke this morning. A gorgeous young redhead,
Oh,
goes into the doctor's office and said that her body hurts everywhere she touches it. That's impossible, said the doctor. Show me. So she takes her finger and she pokes it on her shoulder and screams. She pokes it on her elbow and then screams even more. She pushes it on her knee and screams. She pushes it on her ankle and screams. Everywhere she touches, she really hurts. The doctor says, "You're not a redhead, are you?"
gee.
Well, no, she said, "I'm actually blonde." I thought so, said the doctor. You have a broken finger.
Oh, wow.
Oh, gosh.
I'm sorry, I'm blonde too, so I can tell something. All right. Today we're going to talk about the files application. Okay, and the files application, Apple came out with it, I think, about 2 or 3 versions of their operating system ago. And it's an application that kind of does collect all the different files you have anywhere on your iPad. Up until this point, you had those files within the application. For example, photos are within photos. Notes are within notes. If you loaded a special application, they're in that application. Okay. So what they've come up with is a way in which you can designate or put files in a central location. And those files in that central location can be anywhere. They could be, you could put all your files in the iCloud. You could put all your files in, for example, Dropbox or Google Drive. Now, to do that, you have to download the application that you want to do that with. So, for example, if you had Dropbox as a place you wanted to put all your files or some of them, you would have to download and log into the Dropbox application. So I'm going to switch screens now. Okay, and hopefully you see the full screen now. Yes,
Yes,
seeing mine?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
iPad on the right, iPhone on the left.
Yes.
And there's the Files app. I've put it there. And unless you've deleted it, you should have it on your devices as well. So if I click on the Files app on my iPad there, it comes up and looks like this. Okay. I want to check something before I go too far. Good. Now you'll notice it says I could look on my iPad for things I have on my iPad. I could also look in the iCloud Drive. So if I click that, it shows me what's there. Up above, it says recent things that I've stored in the iPad in the Files application and recent documents I've shared. If we go down here and says iCloud Drive and my iPad and recently deleted, I think we're all familiar probably with recently deleted. Those are files you've deleted and you have some time to get rid of them or before they will permanently be deleted. Now you'll notice I only have the iCloud Drive and my iPad. If I go up to the three dots, see the three dots up there on the left, on the right, I mean, I can click on Edit Sidebar, and it shows me the various other places that I have that I could store files. For example, Dropbox. Now, the reason Dropbox is on my list there is that I have downloaded the Dropbox application onto my iPad. I went to the Apple Store, I got Dropbox, I put it on, and I put in my Dropbox ID and password, or I registered with them and got an ID and password. Once you have done that, you can say, hey, I want to access the Dropbox from the Files application. I've done the same thing with Google Drive. Okay. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different places I can put files that I have generated in any various places on my iPad. I can put them up in other places, in other central locations. So I don't know if any of you have those other applications. Hopefully all of you have iCloud and on my iPad. I can't see, wait a minute, I can't see you folks because I'm looking at shared screen. But is there anyone out there that does not have at least those two?
Bill, this is only for the iPad, correct?
No, iPhone works the same exact way.
Yeah, but it looks very different on
Different.
my iPhone. I don't know why.
If I click iPhone, it looks like that,
Huh?
okay? And that's because I have all those applications.
Not on my iPhone.
Hey, Bill,
Right,
Yep.
well,
Bill,
Yes, go ahead, Jim.
I don't have the files folder. How do I get that?
You go to the App Store and download it,
Okay. Thank you.
okay?
Bill, so you would ignore Adobe Document, and I've also got OneDrive.
You don't need to ignore them. They're just different
Right.
places you could put them.
But so as not to confuse the situation, you really don't need more than the ones that you've shown.
It's up to you.
Okay.
If you've decided you'd like to keep yours in 4 different places for some reason, that's okay.
Okay.
You want to put them all in Dropbox or all in iCloud, that's fine too.
Okay.
Where
Do
did you get
use
that?
OneDrive. Oh, sorry.
Say again, please.
where did you get that? In settings?
Get what?
Browse locations.
Oh, you don't have, it doesn't say browse at the top of yours?
No, hold on a minute. No, hold. Where, start from the beginning. I mean, this is, all right. Locations?
No. See where it says files on my screen? I have an application called Files.
I gotcha. Okay.
In order to see if you have that, anybody remember the trick? If you put your mouse pointer, let me put it on my iPhone there.
Right.
If you put your, whoops, hold on a minute.
Why don't I have it?
If you put your finger in the middle of your screen, see my little pointer here? If I put it here, click and pull, whoops. If I put it in the middle and pull down and then type in files,
Right, yeah, but.
and if you don't, if it doesn't come up and say files, that means you have removed it or you no longer have it on your device. And you have to go back to the Apple Store. okay, and type in files and download it. So if you don't have it, please download it now.
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
Bill,
yes,
could
go
you
ahead.
please do that one more time on the iPhone? Mine isn't behaving that way.
Okay, I'm here on the iPhone, right?
Hmm.
I'm on my home screen. I put my finger in the middle of the screen and immediately pull down.
Mhm.
And I get a search bar that shows up. Oops. I got a search bar that shows up. Come on, keyboard, where are you? There it is. Right? And I type in, if I'm not sure if I have files, I have a bunch of apps and I'm not sure if I have it, I type in FILES. And if I have it on my device, it should show up on the top line there. If it does not, then you would go to the Apple Store, which I've just done. I would tap search. And I would type in FILES. And you should get it. It looks like that. It says utilities and mine is open. Okay. If yours doesn't say open on your iPad, then you don't have it. If there's a little down pointing arrow, that means you have had it on your device before and now you need to download it again. If it just says, not a price, get, if it just says get there, that means that you can get it for free. In this case, this particular application, its in-app purchases are also applicable. Okay,
Yeah.
get the idea, everybody?
You can also get the search function on the iPhone by swiping all the way to the left, to the right. It's the first screen and it'll have the search on it.
What?
That's a different, that's for widgets, dear, so don't do that.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. Okay, that does do a search, but it's usually for widgets.
Isn't that what we're looking for?
No, we're not looking for a widget. Okay,
Bill, would you review how you got,
I
say,
guess-
Dropbox?
let me finish up with Sharon. That did work, Sharon. Okay, so she went here and did it. Okay, so she swept to the left, from left to right to get the search bar to come up. That does work.
That's easier for me since my whole screen is full of the little icons or widgets.
Well,
So it's easier to search to the, swipe to the,
I know, but if
right.
you just put your finger in the middle of the screen, between a couple of the widgets, between a couple of the icons, like right there, just put it there and pull down. Okay, Peter, you had a question?
Would you review how you got like Dropbox, those applications under locations?
Sure. I clicked on the App Store. And I want to do a search. And this time I'm going to look for an app called Dropbox. Okay, so there's Dropbox. Okay, and again, mine says open because I have it already. Okay,
Well, that's my issue is I have it already, but it's not in that location.
oh, it's not in the files. It's not accessible from files yet.
Correct.
Have you opened Dropbox and log into it on your device? Okay. So what Peter's saying is I have the Dropbox application, but you need to open it as well. So you go to Dropbox on your device. Okay. And go ahead and sign into it.
Bill,
Mhm.
I, I can get the files if I go to the store and it's, and then open it because I have it. But how else can I get to it without having to go through the
The
store? Where is it on my iPad?
All right. Yeah, it's hidden.
Yeah.
Okay. On your iPad, if you, let me go back here. So let's assume I don't know where it is. Right there it is on my screen because I put it there for this class. So I didn't have to go through all my stuff to find it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I go in the center of the screen and I press, oops, if I go in the center of the screen and pull down and
Mhm.
type in files, it will find it for me.
Oh,
Okay, so that's the purpose of that. It's called the Spotlight search. Okay,
mm-hmm.
so if you're looking for anything on your iPad, an email from somebody, somebody's name in their contacts, email from somebody, what you do is you put your finger in the middle of the screen, not on an app, but it just between a couple and pull down.
That's what keeps happening.
Well, no. Press the home button to get out of this. Come on. I put my finger in the middle of the screen and pull down. Don't pull to the side, pull straight down. Okay. And then, for example, if I was looking for an email from or a contact from somebody called Merle, and it came up, it says, I have a contact from Nancy, for Nancy Merle and Bill Merle, and it looks like I have an email from Nancy as well. All right.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
And I even have pictures of Bill Merle. Okay. So I have all that stuff just by typing it up there. It's a Spotlight search. It's like searching. It's like Google searches the internet. Spotlight search searches your iPhone or iPad. So I use it frequently to find applications that are lost, that are buried somewhere on my device.
I
Well-
just typed in your name and found your obituary.
It's a little premature.
Yeah, May the 1st, 2020.
Oh, that's so it found my name on the internet somewhere. Hopefully it wasn't in Sarasota.
Bill, I activated my Dropbox and it's still not listed.
I'll get it there. We'll get it there.
Darn it.
Okay. So now let me open files, and Peter, go ahead and open files now.
Doesn't work.
Pardon me? Files doesn't open?
Your little trick of doing a search for applications.
That you have on your device.
Yeah. I'm looking at applications on my home screen, and the search trick does not find any of the applications
No,
installed.
no,
on the
you have
device.
to be,
Not photos, not files, not
okay,
camera, not.
hold on. Does your home screen look like that? My iPad.
My phone does look like that. Yes.
Okay. Now put your finger in the middle and pull down.
Yep. And I get that search screen. Yep.
And now at the top, type in the app you're after.
I do that
Yeah,
and it show. When I do that,
Yeah.
it shows several Safari icons, and
Right.
below that, it
What-
shows some App Store icons, but the actual app on my phone, none of the apps on my phone show up at the top like yours do.
well, I only have one that has files on it.
I've tried this with
No, no, no,
files, I've
hold on.
tried it with photos, I've tried it with several other apps on my phone, and none of them show up on the search screen.
Okay, does yours look like mine before you enter anything? So delete what you have up on the search bar.
I'm getting back to that, deleting. Okay,
Type in photos.
I have a blank screen on my, when there's nothing typed in the search bar, I have a completely blank screen.
Okay, type in
It shows
photos.
nothing at all.
Understood. Type in photos.
So it does not show up.
You're going to have to restart your device then. Okay. This is what I'm recommending.
Yes, sir.
Power it down and power it back up.
Yep.
Okay, Peter, you had a problem. You said, gee, I open up the Files app and Dropbox is not listed there. Is that correct?
That's correct.
If you see the little dots up here in the top right, and this is for everybody now. So Peter has added Dropbox, but it doesn't show up as a location he can use using the Files application. If he hits the three little dots and taps Edit Slider, there'll be hopefully Dropbox in that list. You have one there, Peter? You see, if I turn off Dropbox and tap Done,
I'm in good shape. Thank you.
right? So now I don't have Dropbox. So the little three little dots and Edit sidebar gives us the capability to add the other possible locations to file things that is on our device.
Hey, Bill, I didn't even have any idea you could retrieve that stuff. But Bill, that
Okay, this is
helps a
good.
lot.
This
What
is
a
good.
flaw in this system. You can't get that stuff back.
This is good. We're getting somewhere. See, at my Dropbox, I have Stug, and I can go to the Stug website or Stug Dropbox location to see what's getting ready to be put in the monitor, for example. We got Google Drive. So I have these particular different locations.
When you have more than one application in your Dropbox, does that count against your capacity with
Uh,
Dropbox?
See where it says shared?
Yes.
That's theirs. That's somebody else's that I have access to.
So you don't use that against your amount
It's
in
not,
Dropbox?
it's not used against the space I have available from Dropbox for my account.
Okay.
The other ones are, but these two are not.
Hey, Bill,
Yes,
on the phone,
okay.
how do you, if you have Dropbox, how do you add it into that list of files?
Okay, let me switch over to the phone.
Thank you.
All right, we cancel this. We go to files. And there should be three little dots up here. Are there for you?
Yes,
Hit the three little dots.
yeah.
And I think you tap edit. Ooh,
Oh, duh.
I got to go to less locations.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Perfect, thank you.
I'm going to add Dropbox there as well. Okay, and then I tap done. Okay,
Bill, just a comment. I found that I got myself into recents and couldn't get back out of it. Down at the very bottom of your screen, you have a recents and a browse. So you can just click on that to get back to browse if you're on a phone.
good point. Yeah. That's the only way to get back that I see. Thank you, Bill.
I got stuck and then finally figured it out.
Yeah. And that's a good lesson for us all. Always look at the top and the bottom for controls. And Bill figured that one out. Oh, that's how I get back to browse. Okay. If I go somewhere on the iPhone here, because I don't have, like the iPad has a split screen, if you will, where it has a panel on one side and then the contents on the other. If I go to, for example, Google Drive, I have to go up here and click browse to get back. I go, nope. Yeah, if you click browse at the bottom, it takes you back as well. Okay,
I just want a soft drink.
any questions so far?
On my iPad, to see files, it shows an app inside a file. But I have not, maybe I'm not understanding what it means by files.
Did you open, are you opening the files application, Leah? Is that where you are? Leah?
Yes, I am.
So,
I have the files application open and I clicked down, went down to on my iPad just to see what it would show and expecting it to be blank because I don't remember writing anything as a file. Or maybe I don't understand what a file is. That's what I'm asking. When I click on that, I get a file icon. Inside it has a picture and the word Nook.
has a picture of what? Say that again.
The Nook, my Nook, which is an app on my iPad.
I think I have that same thing, by the way.
Same thing. Yeah, this same thing happens on my phone.
Okay, what it's
When I
saying to you,
click on,
what it's saying to you is on your phone, you stored something in Nook and iPad said that's on my iPad, so it picked it up. Okay. I have Acrobat. Okay.
Okay, so when I see that as a file with saying Nook there, it means, because it says one item, it means that I'm looking at one item.
No, you're not looking at it yet. You have to tap it to look at it.
Okay, but it's saying that I have one item from my Nook on my iPad and my iPhone that I can open up and see what it is.
Yeah, mine doesn't show any, so I'm not sure if that's correct, but right. That one's Adobe worked correctly. PowerPoint shows me two. So those are, let's call it different folders within the files application on my iPad. Got 3 for Word. Okay.
Guess what my problem is? I'm not understanding what iPad and iPhone define as a file. I'm still working with the computer idea that the file.
It's the same thing.
Stores your documents, but
correct.
It's not file.
It's the same thing. A file is a document, a picture. It's one thing. But you'll notice that on there's a folder with the word Acrobat or a folder with the word Nook. Down here is a P. Right, so that's a file. That's a file. These are folders within on my iPad. And here's a picture. Okay, so if it's a folder within on my iPad, it's a folder and it contains something. Should. Okay,
Thank you.
okay. All right, so let's see, let me just check my notes here. So what I want to know is how do I get things into there? Here I can go and view them. How do I get things into? Because for example, if I go to my photos, I have a whole mess of photos here. If I want to save one of these folders somewhere else other than within the Photos app, let me pick one here.
Why would you want to do that? You already have the photos.
But I want to put it in the iCloud, or I want to put it in another folder somewhere. Okay. So we went to Selby Gardens at night, and this was one of the pictures. And you can't see it on yours, but on my screen, and yeah, I have to do it this way. On my screen, there's a little share box. Here's the picture, and there's a little share box up here at the top. Doesn't show up on the screen that you're viewing at, but it does show up on my iPad. So if you're looking at a picture right now on your iPad or your iPhone, let me bring up photos on my phone. Okay. And that share box is at the bottom left on the iPhone. That would be down here. On the iPad, it's up here. So I'm going to tap on that, and you won't see where I go, unfortunately. But there is an item there that says Save to Files. And if I click on Save to Files, it says, where do you want to put it? On my iPad, in Google Drive, in the iCloud, or Dropbox? I'm just trying to think, is there a way I can show you that? And there's not. And then I can click Save. So I've taken that picture and I'm going to put it on my iPad. And I tap Save. Okay. So now if I go to the Files app and go to on my iPad, there's the picture that I saved. Okay. And I can do the same thing on my iPhone. Oh, I know how I can do this. Hold on.
Do a screen capture.
I know what I can do. I'm going to go to camera. And here's my iPad. Okay. And if I go to Photos and I pick another picture, let me pick another picture. So there's another picture, right? And you see the share box right here at the top. If I tap that, it comes up and there's a bunch of things I can do. I can send an email, I can put it in a note, but if I scroll down far enough, it says Save to Files. So if I tap Save to Files, then you want to save it on your iPad in one of the subfolders on your iPad. Let me put it in the cloud this time. Okay. So I'm going to tap iCloud Drive. And do I want to put it in one of the subfolders up there? Oops, I don't know what I did, but I hit it with my finger. And I'm just going to save it right there in the iCloud, not one of the subfolders. Okay. I'm just going to save it there. So now it should have taken that picture, made a copy of it, and put it in the iCloud drive. And now I can access that picture in the iCloud drive. But I'm going to go to Files. And you don't need that anymore. Okay. And I'm going to go to iCloud Drive and scroll down, and hopefully that picture is right there. Okay.
Bill, it copied it from your
Right.
iPad. It did not take it away, correct?
That's correct. So you're saving an additional copy of it. Good question, Ann. All right, everybody.
Process again.
Say that again, Leah. Your microphone is kind of light, so you got to get close to it. Go ahead.
Say, would you go through that process again with maybe the iPad?
Okay. All right. So what we have here is an iPad. And what we want to do, now you're looking at the iPad on my iPhone so I can show you everything. Okay. And what do we want to save this time? Oh, we're going to save a note this time. Okay. There's the subscriptions that I have, right? And when the date they expire, right? And so I think I did this before. And so I want to share that one. Right. I tap the 3 dots. And I tap, I think I say share. Oh, see where it says send a copy? So I tap send a copy and send it to Files. And when I do that, it's going to give me a choice of where in the Files catalog do I want to put it? Which one of the areas? And so I'm going to choose the iCloud again. And I'm just going to say save that one in the iCloud. Okay, right there at the top. So now I saved that one. We'll go back and we'll look in Files, iCloud, and I should have it right there where it says text. So there it is. Okay.
Bill, aren't your notes automatically saved to the iCloud?
I know.
Sorry.
I was just using an example. Let's say I wanted to put them on Google Drive.
Okay.
You saying you're being redundant, Bill?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, the problem is that there's no organization. One has to set up an organization, which I've had a difficult time with in Apple products.
Yeah.
You know, with Microsoft, I never had a problem. You had your tree, but here, look, it's a mess.
Well,
You know, when you have to look for a file, it's impossible to find it if you've got.
Think of Files as your C drive.
Yeah.
And then these other ones are the first subfolders. iCloud, My iPad, Google Drive, Dropbox are subfolders on the Files app or the C drive. And so that's the way I cleared it up in my mind.
Yeah, well, I have everything in iCloud Drive, you know, so that it doesn't matter which device I'm on. But within our iCloud Drive, you know, I want to set up everything the way I had on, you know, on Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and I want to be able to alphabetize stuff so I can find it, you know, if it's stuff that can be alphabetized, you know, within a folder.
Okay.
And
I don't know if you can do that on iCloud Drive. We'll take a look at it in a little bit. Okay?
Hey, Bill,
Yes.
I have files apparently according to my phone on my phone, but it doesn't show the app on the screen, to access. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have any of those icons there for file.
What app? You're saying you have the Files app?
I have the files app according to my phone. I
Do you-
can reach
did
the
you-
other,
did
but I
you-
don't have it on my, home screen. How do I get that there?
If you have the Files app, it's one of your applications.
No.
You're talking about the phone now or the?
Yeah, the phone.
Okay. You may not have it on your home screen, but if you sweep to the left, from right to left, right to left, right to left, it will be listed, I think, under utilities.
Yeah, I think it is. That's what they said.
And let's see if it is.
I don't see utilities.
Now I don't see it in there.
Hey, Bill?
Oh,
Yep.
I see. I have a utilities here.
Yeah.
But now, what does it look like again?
It's a blue app with an F in the middle, with the word, well, it's a blue app it's a white app with a
No,
blue.
I don't have that. I have utilities here, but I don't have that.
I didn't either. I didn't see it in utilities.
Bill?
Yes.
When I do the search on the phone, it tells me where the file is if I put it in a folder, which I did.
What did you put it in?
I put it in a folder I called Apple stuff.
Okay. Apple
Hey, Bill.
stuff. Yes.
It's under productivity and finance.
It's under finance, productivity.
Productivity and finance.
Okay. In that particular, in the,
In the app library.
under productivity,
Well,
finance.
No, it's that thing where you swipe to the right, out to the left.
Enough times, you should end up with it there. I don't see it on mine.
Okay, well, all right.
It might be
It's in
in
the
your-
app library, right? It's in the app library. So now if I want to put that on the screen, how do I do that?
You put your finger on it and get them to wiggle, I think,
Oh.
and then
And then
drag it. Or I'm sorry. Let me do one. Well, the question is with the advent of iOS, let me back up everybody before I lose everybody. With the advent of iOS 12, they added a new feature. And up until then, you had your apps and they were listed. And then I taught you in some of my classes how you could put them in folders by just getting them to wiggle and putting one on top of the other. And it created a folder for you. Okay? And we could rename the folder.
Right.
I'll rename this one Stuff. Okay, so now I have a folder called Stuff, and if I open Stuff, I've got Watch and Wallet in there. If I don't want them in there any longer, I get them to wiggle again.
Right.
So let me make them stop wiggling. I get them to wiggle again by pressing and holding on one and continue holding it until they wiggle. Open it up, that folder, and then just drag it out. And then I'll drag the other one out as well. Okay, and that folder disappears. With the advent of iOS, what are we on? 13 or 12? Or is it
14.
14.
14.4.
Right.
Yeah. With the advent of iOS 14, they added a feature called the App Library. Okay, where they took your apps and they created folders for you. And it's only on the iPhones.
Yeah, not an iPad.
Okay, so if you sweep from left to right enough times on the phone, you go one extra one and they have something called the App Library. And they've taken all the apps and so they've put them in here in their organization, the way they want to organize them. Okay. And what you can do, for example, is I'm going to open the one called Other. And there's the apps I have in Other. And what I can do is I can get them to wiggle by holding on one of them, and it says, whoops, oh, and it automatically brings it over. If I go to delete that app, it says delete app, remove from home screen. If I delete it, it removes it from my device. If I remove from home screen, it puts it back in the app library out of, right? So I'm going to take ABC there. Let me get them to stop wiggling. Oops.
Well, I did it now.
Press and hold on ABC. Does anything happen? Come on. There we go. And it automatically opens one of your home screen, and there you can put that particular app. So they provided a nice, easy way to have all your apps. So you don't need to delete them from your device. You just put them in here. You just get them off your home screen if it's an app you don't use very often.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then you can go back here and see how they've organized them.
Couple of comments.
Go ahead.
First of all, I discovered that looking at on the phone at the app library, the farthest one over, folders actually, since it does it in the way it wants to organize everything, I found that the file thing put it in two places. It had it in suggestions, mainly because I've been sitting here using it all morning. So it put it to suggestions,
Yeah.
but it decided that the place it needs to be is productivity and finance. So that was the place it
yeah,
decided.
there it is. Yeah, there it is. It's right there, right?
Yeah, and it'll start out as one of the little ones in the bottom, and if you use it a whole lot, it'll be the top three
Okay,
ones.
cool. So it does,
It moves them around based on your using them.
it does rotate them based on recently used kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other comment is when you were inside the Files app itself, there was a plus and a folder up on the upper right, so you could add folders inside the folder.
Okay, what the point Bill's making, and let's go there. If everybody goes to the Files app, I'm going to open phone. And I think you can create a new folder by clicking on the little three dots and saying new folder.
It's there all the time on the iPad, but you have to go to the three dots for the phone.
Yeah, again, because of space. And what he's saying on the iPad is right here, it says add a new folder. Okay.
Bill, mine doesn't say that. When I click my three dots, it says scan, scan to server, or says only three things.
You've opened a, wait a minute.
I'm in Files. I click the three dots.
App or phone or iPad?
iPad.
iPad?
Mhm.
iPad?
iPad.
Okay, hold on. You click the three dots here.
Yes.
Okay, to do what we're saying is to add a folder, you come over here after you've selected one of them. So I'm going to select my iPad. You come over here to add a folder. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Bill, on my phone, I don't have that choice under the three dots to add a new folder. I just have scan documents, connect to server, and
You have this. right?
Yeah.
Open one of the locations you want to put it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Now you can add a folder with the 3 dots.
Bill,
Go ahead.
I find it helpful to think of files as being able to see the entire set of disks that is available to your computer. Some of them are on my iPhone and some of them are in the cloud. My defaults are iCloud Drive on my iPhone and Dropbox. And so I think of those as disk drives that are either on my iPhone or connected via the cloud, just like on my Mac desktop.
That works. That's a good way to think about it. You know, I was saying think of them as folders, but think of them as actual drives, and they are in most cases. Okay.
Bill, I know
What?
something came up before about notes and being automatically put in the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. You have to add that if you want it to go to the cloud.
We're going to get there in a minute.
Oh, all right.
We're going to shift gears here. Okay.
How do you name those new folders, Bill?
I don't know. Let's see if we can name one. Let's shift over here to the iPad. And it says new folder right there, right?
Yeah. I put new folder, but I don't know how to name it.
So you click it. And then you see what came up? It's highlighted. Go ahead and
Yeah.
just type.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got it.
Just type in the new
So
name.
but you gotta name them quick as you make them.
Yep. Well, I think you can rename them. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can rename it. Yeah, if you put your finger on it and hold it there for a little while, like I'm going to put it on that one I just made and hold it, it comes up and says you want to copy, duplicate it, move it, or delete it, or rename it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Now you can tag it as well. So you can take folders from various, let me use the way we were just talking about, from various disk drives. You can take a folder and say they're red. Okay. So I've just taken one from my iPad and made it red. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click and hold this one. And I'm going to take it and make it red. Okay. Then I go down here to tags. Hold on. And I click on red, and it's showing me the folders that I've tagged as red from various sources, so that I could have folders or files on various disk drives, and I could see them all here. So I've tagged them all as as special pictures or something that are on various disks, and they would all show up here. Okay. So that's what tags is all about, if you want to get into that.
Bill,
Yep.
how do you delete something in a file that it's real old and I don't even want it anymore?
You don't want the document that's up there?
Right. Right.
I think you just press and hold it. There's a way to delete it right there.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to untag this one. And by the way, in tags, you can add your own name, I think. Is there a way to customize a tag. Says new tag, and you can put a name on it. And they tried to provide this as a way to get everything organized. Okay, you just have to start thinking like they want you to think. That's the advantage and or disadvantage. Depending on how you look at it. All right.
Hey, Bill, how do you put a file in a folder then?
How do you put a file in a folder?
I tried to do it and I couldn't move it.
Let me see if I can make a folder here. Where am I at? I'm going to go to iCloud. Oh, there's a new folder. So I'm going to create a new folder here.
Yeah.
New, right? Oops, wrong keyboard. N-E-W. Okay, so I've created a folder called new folder. And I think I just drag, oops, can I?
I tried dragging, it wouldn't do it.
And you move. You press and
Oh.
hold and move. And I want to put it in new folder
Okay.
and move. So now I have that particular file in new folder. You know, after these classes, I have no idea where I put stuff. Okay. All right. So let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about iCloud for a minute. And I'm going back to my home screen on both devices. If I go to settings, and I'll go to settings on both devices. Well, first of all, the iCloud, Apple came up with that as a way to save all the things on your device. Not all the things, a lot of things on your device in the iCloud. And it includes the data associated with various applications you might have on your device. Okay. Now it doesn't save Google Mail because that's saved in the Google Cloud. So you don't need to back that up or do anything with that. So if to see what's on, to set up the iCloud, you go to your name at the top of the screen in settings. And there's an item there called iCloud. So I'm going to tap on iCloud on both devices. Okay. And it shows me how much storage I'm using in the iCloud up here at the top and what devices are and what's being stored there, broken down by photos, backups, documents, and other. Okay. And the documents and other are primarily information from various applications that it goes around, collects, and puts up there. The idea behind the iCloud is to preserve all the information so that if you either lose your device, break your device, or want a new device, right? You can quickly get the new device, all the information, give the new device all the information what's in the old one. So when we get a new iPad or iPhone and you start bringing it up, it says, do you want to gather, put on the new device, new iPhone or iPad, the same information that was in the old one, the same applications, the same pictures, the same music, those kind of things. Okay. And you can do that. And they do a pretty good job of arranging them the same way they were on the old device.
So you're saying they put everything from your phone in the iCloud automatically?
all, well, for example, I have to be straight here. For example, it will put your Gmail account up there, but it just has the account information because the email is saved in the Google Cloud. So not the email itself, but the fact that you had a Gmail account. Okay, make sense? So yeah, not everything that's on there is put up there, but links to everything at the very least is up there. If you have a game you're playing like solitaire or some game where you've worked up to a certain level, it will keep track of the level you went to and the game that you have, and it will download the game from the App Store again and then combine that with the data associated with that application.
Bill, how about passwords?
Yes. Which you're talking about the passwords that are saved by Apple in Safari?
Well, yeah, yes.
Yes, it does those. I believe. I have to check that. Hold on. No, I can't. Yes, I can, I think. Not that one. Oh, no. Yes, it does. For example, I have not been on Kayak with my new iPad. I got onto it with my old iPad, and it has the password here for it. Okay?
Good.
Bill,
Yes.
could I ask,
Go
on the
ahead.
phone, looking at your iCloud list with all of the green toggles turned on, I can look down and see that all the way down through messages, those are things that are personal to you. In Safari, it would remember your history and bookmarks. But why would news or, I guess news or stocks are things you've customized in those apps? Is that why they're there?
Perfect. You got it. You got it.
So if you haven't done those, you don't use those, they're not, I mean, you've just got certain ways in which those apps remember things that you've put in to that app. Is that right?
How you've customized them. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I recommend turning them all on in case you forgot you really did something. Okay. All right, everybody.
That begs the question then, I've read the Apple privacy and it seems to be pretty good, but maybe you have some other comments about how private your data is when it's in the iCloud?
Good question. They say it is. Right?
Are you comfortable with that? Is everybody doing that? I just haven't yet much.
I do it. You see what I have there. That's my settings.
Bill, may I comment on privacy?
Sure, go ahead. Now, this is an opinion, by the way. Go ahead.
This is Tim Childers' opinion. Take it for a grain of salt, but I have been a computer security professional for many, 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 many years. iCloud's encryption and Apple's encryption in general is all great. I have no worries about it. However, if your Apple ID password is PASSWORD or your grandchild's name, any high school student with 10 minutes to kill can hack into your account. Duh. So I highly recommend that people pick 4 or more random words that mean something to them so that they have a nice long 40-character password that's easy to remember.
Wow.
The advice of using a mix of lowercase, uppercase, and numbers is crap. because computers can easily guess random stuff by trying it a million times. Humans can't remember that random stuff. So I recommend a nice, long, easy to remember password. The longer the better. Like, green eggs and ham is my favorite breakfast. It's nice and long. Random guessing by a supercomputer will take forever. You will remember it always. That's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Super.
But those long passwords are a frustration to put in every time you use them.
That's why you have to make it something that just flows out of your fingertips very easily. That's why I don't mix in uppercase and lowercase and special characters. I can type my 60-character password on my computer in about 1.5 seconds because it just
excellent.
flows.
Thank you.
But how do you handle those situations where they do require uppercase, lowercase, characters, and numbers?
I curse at them for about 2 minutes. And then I have a particular way of handling that that I'm not going to reveal. Thank you.
You can make one of the E's capital with a 3. Right, and then maybe put an exclamation point at the end or something.
Just come up with a scheme and do the same thing every time some old-fashioned company forces you to do that.
Well,
Okay, everybody? That's good advice, by the way. That's not the first time that I've heard that.
That's great advice.
Thank you.
I have a question on security. It has to do, did you read the paper where it said that Apple, something about there's some kind of compromise going on with the Apple? Apple urges security upgrade to iPhones and iPads. Did anybody see that but me?
No, I didn't see it.
I saw that.
It says users
long?
update their devices to fix security flaws that might have been actively exploited by hackers. What are we supposed to do?
Update.
Upgrade.
Automatically update your device every time. It's not unique to Apple or Windows or Linux. You always have to update.
Okay, I did update, but I got to tell you something else. I've been getting porno crap on my tech stuff. What do I do about that? It's not funny.
No, that's a different issue.
Yeah, what do I do about that?
Bill, you want to teach us all how to block a particular phone number? That's a valuable skill.
Yeah, we
Does
can.
that apply to text too?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You can block a sender. Yes.
Okay, how do I do that on a text?
Let me write down security and let me go there at a different time.
Oh, I'm getting them now.
Ask about
Bill, RoboKiller is by far the best of the best. It was the best investment I made on this phone.
And you call it what?
RoboKiller.
So spell that, please. R-O-B-O.
RoboKiller. Best of the best.
And that's for phone calls for your phone?
Yes. And messages.
Oh, and messages?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You think it'll get
And
that?
it's one you have to buy.
Yes. It's a
Is it-
subscription. I think it's $40 a year.
Wow.
But I don't care. It is so worth it.
Okay.
Used to
I
be
haven't
free.
had
Did you say 40 or 4?
40.
Oh,
It used to be free years ago.
there are some.
It's 43 bucks, I think. I got it and I didn't think it worked at all. I must have my settings wrong. I still get a bunch of calls.
I haven't gotten anything.
Let me finish up on iCloud, and then if we have time, we'll cover some security stuff. And I might need a little help there. I'm on the iCloud, so I'm in my name. I went to iCloud. I turned on all the features to back up, and I clicked on iCloud Backup. Okay. And I have it set up to back up itself automatically. And it last backed up the 28th. So that's when the last time I plugged it in overnight at 11:38 p.m. So you just don't turn off your device, plug it in, leave it plugged in overnight with it not turned off, just the screen's dark, and it will update. It will back up, I mean. It will also update if Apple has enough ergs of energy. So it sometimes takes a few days for it to automatically update. Okay?
Bill, can you show me again how you got here? I'm not seeing this screen.
Okay. I went to my name at the top of the settings menu. I tapped iCloud. We scrolled about halfway down the list of iCloud where it says iCloud Backup.
Thank you.
And then right there. By the way, see, I've turned on everything else as well. So it's saving all the data from my various applications that might be associated with them. Okay.
Bill, mine says backups, and it says 2 backups, documents and data, and it shows my 2 backups, but it doesn't say what yours says.
Where are you? You clicked on iCloud Backup, Ann? I lost you, Ann.
Keston unmuted while she's talking.
Yeah, you're muted, Ann, I think.
Sometimes that bar doesn't work.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't work for me either.
I'm on settings and I clicked on my name.
Yeah.
And I clicked on Apple ID or iCloud, I guess.
You tap on iCloud, okay?
I clicked on
then
iCloud and we got Apple ID. Maybe that was my problem. I clicked on iCloud and I got, okay, under Apple ID, I clicked on iCloud. So I got the amount of storage, but I've lost you from there.
No.
Down far enough.
Don't click on your ID. Click on iCloud from where you tap your name at the top of the settings menu. Click on iCloud.
Settings menu, click on iCloud. How far down is it?
You look on the screen. You on your iPhone? Is that where you are?
On the iPad.
Okay, if you look on your screen, you can see my iPad. I clicked here, then I click here. And then I scroll down and click on iCloud Backup.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Bill,
Yeah.
one question on storage in the iCloud. Is it possible, if you wanted to clear out some space, to go in and, for example, pick and choose which photos you no longer need because you might use Google Photos, or certain files or whatever's up there, and just hand pick which ones you want to delete, or do you have to just clean it out or nothing?
No, you can do what you're suggesting, and that's what we're going to talk about next.
Okay, good, thanks.
What I've done is I've gone to my browser and I've opened the iCloud. So how did I do that? Okay, I'm looking at Google right now. If I click up here in my browser and I type in iCloud.com. Now this is on the computer, right? And now I've gone to iCloud.com and it's going to ask, whoa, it should ask me for my password. It didn't, but it would. Now let me log out here. Okay, so now I've logged out. And I want to log back in. Okay. So now I'm looking at my iCloud, and these are the things that are saved up there. And we were talking about iCloud Drive earlier. There's, when we have the Files app, you could specify the iCloud Drive. That's what that is. Here's your photos. So I'll open my photos. Okay, so here's all my photos. Let me delete one. If I click this, I can put it in the garbage can. Now, what will that do? That will delete it from the iCloud, my iPhone, and my iPad. So it deletes it from everywhere. This item will be deleted from the cloud and all your devices. So it's trying to warn you. And now it's gone.
Does it also delete it from Google Photos?
No, it does not delete it from Google Photos. Let me put a caveat on that. If you do the same thing in Google Photos, it will delete it from the iCloud and all devices. So Google Photos actually goes back and deletes it from the iCloud. Doesn't work the other way around. Okay? So be a little careful when you're deleting them from Google Photos. They will be gone forever. Again,
Bill, I missed something. How did you get to where you are now?
I'm on my computer.
Okay.
And I went to iCloud.com. See where it says iCloud.com here at the top?
Ah, uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm at iCloud.com. Here's things that are being saved in iCloud.
Okay, thank you.
If I go to iCloud Drive here, oh, we just talked about that a minute ago with files. If I go to iCloud Drive, here's the same thing you would see looking at files. And if I want to delete one of these things, there's the picture that we, there's the picture. Well, let's see what happens here. I'm not going to get it right now. No. Let's not go there. Okay, you're not going to, not that easy, but you can view it here, right?
Hey, Bill?
Yeah.
That's really good information. Thank you. Now, would you be able to do that from, say, your iPad or the iPhone instead of the desktop? I mean, the desktop is a lot better, but I was wondering.
You didn't used to be able to go to iCloud.com, at least in Safari, you couldn't. I'm not sure about that now. I tried it a year ago. Safari, I went to iCloud.com and it did not work. So, but I'm not saying it won't work now. You can try it.
That's great news. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bill, what's in your documents? What's in documents? Because that takes up a lot of my space.
Looks like PDFs are in mine.
Bill, you can't go in through your Apple devices. I just signed into iCloud with my iPad.
And it did come in and it looks like this now?
Yeah,
Good, good. So they've, thank you. And you went in through Safari?
yes.
Thank you. Okay, everybody? Here's the contacts you have on your device. And I created, we were talking last week about groups. Now now this only shows the contacts that you have in the iCloud contacts or the Apple contacts. It doesn't show me the Google contacts. So it's not quite as flexible. If you're have everything in Apple, this works well. But I don't. So I only have me and Ivan Smith here. Smath. Okay.
Bill,
Mm-hmm.
at first, this has always been a big problem for me with the contacts because I started with Outlook and then Google and everything. So I started putting my contacts in on my computer, which is an iMac. So I thought it was going into iCloud.
It should.
But it's not coming up on my Apple devices when it's a new contact.
And Greg, are you with us?
Yes, yes.
Can you help us with that one?
Yeah, well, it's in your settings. You have to set up iCloud in your mail and your contacts and
Settings
make that
on the
where you're editing.
Settings on the Mac, right?
Yes,
On my computer.
yes.
But I do have iCloud set up on my iMac.
Yeah, but I'm talking about go into the contacts and look
go
and make sure that you're working actually in iCloud and not in Gmail or whatever.
So in other words, you go into system preferences.
Yes,
And then what?
and accounts,
System preferences, accounts, yeah.
and then I'm sorry, not accounts. Well, I'm kind of drawing a blank here. I think you need to go into the contacts app and the preferences from the contacts or accounts. And that's where the settings are. You tell the contact application which cloud service you're using. Could be iCloud, or could be Google or Yahoo or AOL, whatever. In my case, it's iCloud.
Mhm.
In
Yeah.
your case, it's probably something different if it's not showing up on all your Apple devices.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I don't use the iCloud email, but I use the cloud service. Yeah, okay. I'm
Well,
pretty
you
sure I
have to
got
be
that, but
using,
I'll double
for
check.
you to see it on all your devices, you have to be using the same service on all your devices.
So on all my devices, I should go into contacts on all my devices and go
Yeah.
into preferences and make sure it's iCloud as my backup.
Well, or whichever one you want to use. In
Yeah.
my case, it's iCloud.
Yeah, well, it makes it a lot easier if it's on every device.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'll double check that. Thanks. Thanks.
Okay. So any questions about the iCloud here? Others?
Yeah, I do sort of.
Okay.
So I'm a PC and 2 Apple products, right? And when I look on my phone and I look at the list of apps using iCloud, app contacts, calendars, reminders, notes, messages. I don't see them on yours either.
They're not listed here, but what it says, and you had it on both devices, that the messages, if you get a message on one, it'll show up on the other.
But it doesn't show on iCloud.com.
Correct.
What's Keynote?
That's Apple's PowerPoint.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know why they don't have messages here. That's a good question.
Well,
I
there are
think that's
several
only for
others
Apple
that would be
devices.
missing.
Pardon me?
There are several others that I have green on my phone that would be missing. I just picked messages because I had an issue with messages the other day.
Probably reminders. Greg, what did you say?
Messages is only for Apple devices, and so that's why it doesn't show up on the iCloud website.
Gotcha.
But isn't iCloud website an Apple?
Yeah.
Yes, but they restrict it to Apple devices.
Messages, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. The rest of these are all on computers as well. Gotcha. It's interesting that they don't have it there though, because it does have to be in the iCloud somewhere.
Yes, you don't see, this is only a portion of what's in the iCloud. For instance, all your passwords are in iCloud keychain, but that doesn't show up here either.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So if you needed to find them, you couldn't see them on iCloud.com, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I guess.
I think you need to write a letter. Okay. One other thing I want to cover, and I'm going to need, Tim, I'm going to need some help on this one, I think, in a minute. If you're getting phone calls from someone that you want to block, the way in which you block a phone call, and let me bring up the other screen here. So I have here on my iPhone some phone calls that I've received, right? And let's just, I don't know, this may be one of you, doesn't matter at this point. I'm not going to block you. But if I want to block that phone number, I would tap, and let me do it. I would tap the I, and I can block this caller. Okay. Now, Tim, you're going to have to help me with this one. Maybe you're, if you can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the home screen, and Tim was saying you could block messages as well. So if I wanted to block a message from this 401, I think I go there, but I'm not sure how to block it from this point on.
Bill, you would select right there where that arrow is.
Okay, I'm doing that.
Right arrow. And now you can go to info. And
okay.
now you can
No.
wait. Now you can go to info on this screen. To the right.
I didn't go there. That's the way. Okay, Tim.
Go to info.
There it is.
Now you can block.
Yay. Oh, good.
Okay.
Just one little user tip.
Go ahead.
I always block before I delete them from my list of received calls.
Yeah.
That was my
Because
question,
if
Bill.
you delete them first, you can't block them.
My question is, if you block them and then delete them, are they still blocked from calling you?
Absolutely, yes.
How did you get to that info thing on the text part?
I'm going to go back through it again.
Just one warning, please, Bill.
Pardon me, go ahead.
Please be sure that you know who it is before you block and delete, because if you ever accidentally block and delete one of your parents, then need to re-enter them in your address book.
Okay.
Okay, so how do we get to that?
So here I have a phone number that I've just got to,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to open the message. And up here at the top, I hit the little arrow.
I don't have that.
What do you have up there at the top? When you, are you using Messenger?
I'm using the text thing. You know, text.
This is Messages. This is Apple's program. It's
Well,
called,
I'm on my iPhone and I use that next to the telephone, the one on the right, that text thing. Messages, yeah, messages, okay.
I'm going to Messages, which is
Right,
app. Right? I go to all messages.
where's that?
No. Do you see your list of messages?
No, no. Yes,
Open one of the messages.
open one. Okay.
And up at the top, there should
Well, I
be,
don't have anything at the top. I just have a series of messages. And then I have Siri found new contact information. And then I have the person's name and their, you know, whatever that figure is. But I scrolled down and there it was. Okay. It's not on the top though. I have to scroll down to get it, but that's okay. Thank you.
then you click that and you click info and
Yeah,
info again.
got it.
Two infos.
Right. I go down
Tim,
to
is there a
porno.
place where they,
Oh, good. No more porno calls. Okay.
Yeah, the problem is that they use a different number each time,
Yeah.
whether it's a text message.
I know they do that for those calls too, though. So
okay. Tim, is there a list of, I know there's a list of blocked phone numbers somewhere. Is there a list of blocked messages somewhere? In other words,
There's no difference. It's just one list of numbers, whether it comes in via a text or a phone call or a FaceTime call. It's a single phone number.
okay, where's that list? I don't remember.
After you block them,
Mhm.
I have not been able to find where that list is kept.
I've run across it somewhere.
It's on,
Go ahead, somebody's got it. Let us know.
yeah, this is Bill. It's under the, you have to go into the phone.
There it is, block contacts on phone. It said go to settings, phone, and block contacts. Okay, so here's the ones I've got blocked so far.
oh,
Okay, so if you accidentally block somebody, I think you can unblock them here.
oh. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh. So you went to settings and then phone and then what?
Blocked contacts. Blocked contacts.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there they are.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I have a lot blocked.
I noticed there, Bill.
Yeah.
It has under there, it has SMS /call reporting. under block contacts.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole lot of text to read. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that.
Where did you find that?
And right underneath block calls.
Oh. Every once in a while, when you delete a message, it says, do you want to report this? As a scam or something like that.
You mean like the porno stuff?
Yeah.
Well, who does it get reported to?
I don't know.
It talks about the developer. I don't know who the developer is.
Oh, well, that would be the person who did the thing, isn't it?
No,
Usually a developer refers to someone who develops an app.
right. That's the app you're using.
So one question, you know, with those porno things, I mean, do they have, the reason they do that, they don't have my password or anything, do they?
No, but you don't want to really, you don't want to, click on it, respond to it.
I guess I don't. My
Here's here, I can tell you why they do it.
Why?
They are trying to entice you to click on that button. And then when you do, it will take you to a website that will either hack your phone or attempt to trick you into revealing information that they can then use to get money out of you.
Well, they'll never do that, but they might do the first one. So, but my point is, changing my password would not have an effect on them accessing me, would it?
No.
Yeah, if you contact your cell phone carrier, and they'll give you the instructions.
Yeah, I did. They didn't though. That's just it. I mean, I don't know what they did, but
They didn't. Mine walked me through it, and I actually think it's the same. It's the same for every carrier. I think it's you text 7726.
And then you get them that way?
Yeah, and then you give them the information. You forward the text to them, and then they ask you, what number it was, and then you forward that. From the information. Just don't open it.
Thank you.
But I mean, I think it's every cell phone carrier uses the same 7726, but I'm not 100% sure. When I switch carriers, both of them seem to use the same number.
Well, I have Verizon. Do you have Verizon?
Well, I've been using the MVNOs, but before I had AT&T, and now I have Verizon.
Yeah.
And it's the same 7726.
Thank you.
All right. Have I any questions? I've covered files. We've covered the iCloud. Any more questions?
Hey, Bill, I have a
Yes,
question on call blocking.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if anyone has experienced this yet, but 2 days ago, we had 19 phone iCloud has been breached.
Say that again, because you broke up there. Go ahead, try it again. Several days ago,
We had 19 phone calls come in, and it's one of those fake things that say your iCloud has been breached.
Oh, yeah.
And, contact so-and-so.
Yes.
And then yesterday we had 20 come in within an hour. And it's unusual. We have Frontier as our voice system, and we have no more Robo in service on that. But for some reason, the last 2 days it didn't work. I'm wondering if anyone else got slammed with those phone calls.
I have gotten those phone calls, not that frequently, but I got the phone calls. I think I answered one, and I started to lead them on. I said, "Oh, you work for Apple. What's your name? Where are you located? What do you expect me to do?" And before I got to about the fifth question, they hung up. So I was not going to give them any.
They do that though. I had that for 2 days. We finally just had it. We took the answer machine off.
Yeah.
Because she was give her message every time.
Yeah,
And it
so
was like
if you start
5 minutes apart.
if you start getting your Apple account's been compromised, hang up.
Oh, so that's nothing to worry about. Okay, getting, I did say about this article thing here about security with Apple.
Yes.
Well, it says again that we're supposed to fix security, their devices to fix security flaws. Apple's going to put something out on Tuesday, apparently.
Okay.
They said it was a serious threat, though.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So there's nothing we have to do. We just wait for Apple to do it? Or?
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything. Do not general rule of thumb, if you get a beep on your computer saying you got to do something, turn your computer off. If you get a phone call, hang up. Okay.
I think this is a place.
Well, if something really did happen, how would they ever let you know then?
I'm not worried about it. I'll worry about that when it happens.
They would send you a letter, a registered letter.
That's a lot of letters.
Don't believe an email either.
Yeah.
Because they're all trying to get information from you, right?
I think there's a number to contact when you get calls, like spam calls from Social Security, about Social Security. But I don't remember what that number is.
I got one of those too.
Yeah, I got 2 in a row yesterday, and I got one from Amazon.
Hopefully everybody's hearing this because it can save you $400 or $500.
Easily.
Okay, so the scams are out there.
Yeah, and I just saw on the chat screen about contacting your provider.
Yeah.
About spam messages. I had Consumer Cellular before, and they had no filters that they could put on. They were the ones that told me to forward them to this 7726 AT&T, is the carrier.
Okay.
The underlying carrier. I now switched to US Mobile, and I asked them in advance if they have any filters for this, and they said no. Maybe if you pay the big bucks for Verizon or AT&T, they'll do it. I know that T-Mobile advertises that they have filtering in place, and I know my friend has T-Mobile, and he gets his caller ID when he gets a call. It'll say possibly spam. But the other 2 carriers I have experience with don't do anything.
Okay.
Before we leave, can I ask you another question about the file?
Go ahead, Leah.
Yes. Do you ever open the files that once you've gotten it on, I have on my iPad one file, and on my iPad that says Nook, which I think I said. Do you open that? And should you happen, I wasn't sure, you were talking about something else, and I hit the file and it duplicated it. And now I have a split screen with 2 of the same thing on it and don't know how to get rid of it.
How do you get rid of one of the duplicates?
Well, computer.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, how do you get rid of one of the duplicates? And then are you to open your files for any reason, or do they just sit there? And if that's the point, what's the point of it? If they don't understand enough about files or the reasoning for them.
There I got a split screen. Is that the kind of thing you have?
You're
see
not
what you
sure.
I
have.
can't see it. Hold on, hold on. Okay. See the split screen
No,
on my iPad?
no,
Yeah,
no.
Yes, and that is what I have. But
Okay.
actually, yes, that's exactly what I have.
Okay, you see the little
Except I
line
have
right here
on
in
the
the
top
middle? All you've done is open
Yes.
two screens, the same thing. You see the little line here in the middle? Just
Yes.
put your finger on, I'll do it. Okay, I'll put my finger right
paste it.
on that and I just drag it this way. Right, I'll do that. Thump. All you did was open it. It's called a dual screen
Ah,
multitasking kind of environment. So go ahead and turn it off.
okay. Now, in this folder I have on my, in my files, on the section that says on my iPad, I have a folder that shows a Nook and it says one item. What do I do with it now?
Nothing. All it says is that Nook supposedly has put one item there. Mine says one item too, and there's nothing in it. Okay,
And you can't put a book in there because when you go to click on the Nook book, it gives you only what you can do with it within Nook.
correct. And I'm not sure. I have not figured out how to do it. You should be able to put something in there. if you
Okay.
wanted.
On your screen, you have something that says Brave,
Yeah.
flyer, a file that says Brave, and it says 5 items. What happens when that clicks on it and shows you the various items you have in there?
Correct.
Okay, so in other words, it has to have more than one thing in there to be able to click and open it.
No, you should be able to click on Nook and get that to open if there's anything in it. Mine doesn't have anything in it, even though it says one. So don't know why that's there. It looks like an error.
When I click on it, it says copy, info, tags, favorite, compress, open in new window.
You're pressing and holding.
Okay.
Just
Oh,
tap.
I thought
Don't hold it. Just tap on it.
And it becomes blank. That's
Right.
saying there's nothing there. It
Correct.
says 0 items. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
But I have no idea how I'd put something else in there.
There's probably ways to get stuff in there, but that gives you an idea. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I have a long list of blocked contacts going back to that. Should I be getting rid of those or how can I
No,
get
leave it alone. Leave it alone.
alone?
Yeah. Unless you want to get rid of that. Unless you don't want to block that any longer.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bill,
Go ahead.
concerning the blocked contacts, at the very bottom, it says add new. I wasn't able to block a text the way you were describing. Could I put that number? It's 80810. It's not like a full phone number. Could I put that number down there and add new and block it that way?
Good question. Anybody have an idea on that one? I have no idea.
Bill, when I tried what she suggested,
Yep.
it popped up my contacts list. So I'm deducing that you can only block someone who's on your contact list already.
That can't be the case because those phone numbers that are in there are not in my,
yeah, they're not blocked.
so they're
Ones
not,
that called you.
those phone numbers that are in my list on block contacts, right?
If you add it to
From this
contact
interface, it
and
doesn't
then
appear
edit,
to
can
do
you
it.
go?
So those phone numbers are not in my contact list.
I'm just saying that from this app, it didn't appear to allow it, but it certainly allows it from the recent calls
Yes.
list.
So that's emails too. Wow. Okay.
Bill?
How can I block that? I couldn't do it from the message, and if I can't do it here, is there another way?
Not that I know of.
What if you added new to your contacts and then edit that contact down by going down all the way to the bottom to block it?
Okay, I've got one there from 88911. I don't want to block that because that's that's the Sarasota County, right? And I could block that one,
Could add a sample.
but I'm not going to. I don't see one like you're mentioning where it only has several numbers there. And you've tried to block it from messages and I'm sorry.
Yes, I couldn't get it done that way.
Okay. So we'd have to do some research on that one. All good questions, everyone.
Yeah, no.
An art thief once stole very expensive paintings from the Louvre in Paris. He took 2 Van Goghs, a couple of Monets, a Degas, and some other paintings. Everything went perfectly. An expert, you couldn't have figured out how this thief did it all, except he was captured sitting in his van with the paintings only 2 blocks from the museum. His van had run out of gas. When asked by the police, how could you plan such a successful robbery and then be foiled by such a simple error as running out of gas? He replied, I had no Monet. I bought the gas to buy the gas to make the Van Gogh.
Oh, that's a great one.
All right. Next week, we're going to start on the camera and talk about how to use the camera and how to take pictures. And I'll be covering a couple of extra ones because I got a new iPhone. Now, if you have a standard iPhone or iPad, it's still a very valuable class. It's just I'll cover some special things about what the iPhone 12 Pros do that some of the other cameras don't. Okay, let me stop sharing here. Oop. And do I have any more questions from anyone? All right, stay safe out there. I'm hoping you all get a phone call, if you haven't already, from the city or state or Manatee or Pinellas County telling you to come and get your flu shot, okay?
Hey, Bill, has
Thank you.
anyone had the 2 shots?
Has anybody had both of them yet?
Right.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Good. The side effects?
I had the Moderna. The second set me back a little bit for about 48 hours with chills and headache, and I believe that's not at all unusual.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's what I heard.
a little bit of Tylenol, I think will get you through it.
So it lasted a day, Tim? I'm sorry.
48, about 48 hours. And actually, when you ask people, the 48 hours seems to be the magic time after which you feel fine.
Okay, 48 hours, so.
And that's Moderna. I'm not sure if Pfizer does the same. Pfizer.
I only had the first Pfizer shot, and it was a little bit of soreness in the arm, and that was it for me and my husband.
Yes, for me as well. My first Moderna was completely without problems. I think I've also had the infection as well a few months ago. I'm told that if you have the infection and you get vaccinated, you're likely to have a worse, a stronger side effect reaction.
Really?
Okay.
Again, I'm not sure if that's true, or I have heard it from other people as well.
I've heard that too. Mhm.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bill.
Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Very much.
Thank you, Bill.
Bye.
Everybody, have a good week.
Peace, everyone.
You too.
Great class, thanks.
Thanks.